As it says in the title, this is one of KC's Apollo series lights, and the Apollo series lights are going to be a plastic housing light as opposed to the slim lights, which are a metal housing light. So that's one of the big things that sets this apart from some of the other lights from KC. Again, the Apollo Pro series is going to be a plastic housing. Today we're going to talk through the installation of this fog light kit, which is a very simple 1 out of 3 wrench install. This is going to be a completely plug and play installation. You are going to have to do some running of wires, but no soldering or splicing. So again, 1 out of 3 wrenches, probably around an hour or so to get them installed, maybe a little bit more than that, but we'll talk more about the install in just a second. Now, you can get these lights right here in the 5-inch 55-watt setup as these are, or you can get a 6-inch 100-watt if you're looking for a little bit more light and you're okay having something a little bit larger. So you do have a couple of different options if you're looking for an Apollo series fog light. Now, I really like the fact that this is a fog light because I think it makes it very, very useful. You can run these on the street with oncoming traffic. You just need to make sure that they're aimed properly. If you were running a spotlight or a floodlight, forward facing, you wouldn't be able to run that on the street with oncoming traffic. You'd blind oncoming drivers and it would be illegal to run. But again, this is going to be a fog pattern, aim them properly, you can run them on the street, which is something I really do like. Now, KC in general is known for making a very high quality light, and this is going to be no different. I said before, this is a plastic housing, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. These are still very, very strong. Some of us are a little bit more old school. We like the metal housings, but the plastic, if it does get a scratch in it, it's not going to rust. These are going to hold up forever. Because KC does have a good name in lighting, because they've been around for a long time, people know them, and they make a very high quality product, in general, their lights are a little bit more expensive than some of the others on the market, and that is true for these lights as well. The Apollo series is a little bit less than the slim light, but in general, KC is going to be in the middle to upper end of the price range. There are certainly lights, fog lights, that are more expensive than these, and certainly ones that are less expensive. These are going to be right in the middle. So getting into the construction, again, this is an Apollo series light, so this does have a Polymax plastic housing. These do come with those KC stone guards, which are really iconic at this point. They have the KC logo right on them. These are gonna be a pair of 55-watt lights that are 5-inch round, so they are gonna be a little bit smaller than the 6-inch version of these or the slim lights, which are also mostly going to be a 6-inch light. You're gonna get 55 watts of halogen light out of each of these lights. Now, if you go ahead and compare some of the other options out there, if you're looking at LED, they can be different wattage comparisons, and LED lights are generally going to be square. You can still get some that are round, but they're going to be a little bit more modern and a different color temperature. This, you're going to get a halogen light, so it is going to be a little bit more on that yellow coloring. However, if you're running other factory halogen lights, these are going to match really, really well color temperature wise. Something I've always really liked about KC lights is they include a wiring harness with almost all of their lights, and this is no different. And so this whole installation is going to be completely plug and play. The lights themselves have a weather-tight connector on them. You'll have a full wiring harness that will plug into the lights, pick up power at your battery, also have a leg that will run through the firewall so that you'll have a switch that you can easily access from the interior of the Jeep. And again, that makes install very simple. So to get these installed is a 1 out of 3 wrench installation, probably around an hour's time. The first step is going to be installing the lights themselves, and these lights have a traditional single post mount. They can be mounted on a bumper hoop, they can be mounted on the bumper itself if you just want to drill a couple of holes, but because these are a fog pattern, you're going to want to mount them right at or below the headlight level, and they are going to be aimed down a little bit further. So this is not a beam pattern that you're going to be putting on the A-pillars or up on the roof rack. This is definitely going to be low on the bumper. And then you'll go to routing your wiring harness. There are a couple legs of the harness that come up and plug into the lights themselves. There's a leg that goes to the battery, and then there's another leg that you're gonna have to pull through the firewall. Again, very simple because everything plugs in. There's no splicing, there's no soldering that you need to do with this wiring harness. It's just getting all the wires to where they need to be. Make sure that you're routing wires away from anything that is moving, from anything that is hot. Use a lot of zip ties, make sure everything is nice and clean, and you can get this installed again in around an hour. You'll have everything up and running. A pair of these lights will run you right around $135, and I don't think that's a bad price at all for what you're getting. Some of the more expensive lights on the market don't include a wiring harness, or they do include a harness that requires cutting and splicing. This is going to be a much easier install. You know, with KC, you're going to get a very high quality light. It's going to be everything that they advertise. If I was looking for a set of of halogen round fog lights, I would definitely be considering these ones from KC, especially for the price. So if you're looking for an auxiliary light with that fog beam pattern so you can run them in traffic on the road, I think these are going to be a very affordable and easy to install option for you. So that's my review of the KC HiLiTES 5-inch Apollo Pro Halogen Fog Lights, fitting all 1987 and up Wranglers that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.